Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thank you for joining me. This patient was so cute. She was only 4 years old, believe it or not. Now most kids are pretty good. I tend to find that the boys are a bit more jittery than the girls, to be honest with you. This was a young girl and she was so good. She was so still. She was probably the best behaved patient I've ever had for somebody her age, because obviously it's quite traumatic a lot of the time. It doesn't hurt them, but obviously the thought of it and some stranger doing something is often overwhelming for a lot of this age. But she just took it on board and just took it like an absolute trooper. Very full ears. She'd been having real trouble, obviously not just hearing, but a mum who was with her, she was actually pulling her ear open for me at the time, which makes it a lot easier, especially in little children. I noticed that she was having difficulty, her words weren't being formed quite right. She was speaking slightly differently. You know, when you can't hear yourself, then you do tend to do that. And she was saying it was affecting her in school and all sorts, and it's so nice to be able to make a difference in those instances. Now, for most children, especially ones this age, you try and use the fine end tube for everything, and that's what this is. So obviously, as you know, this is a highly magnified image, so the proportions are really tiny compared to what you can see. But the fine end tube in particular is really, really tiny. It makes a lot less noise, and that's generally why I use it, because it's a lot less traumatic for the kids if they can't hear this kind of loud hissing noise. It kind of goes like as it's approaching, but it just didn't bother her at all. She was an absolute superstar. In fact, I'm going to leave some of the audio in so you can hear a reaction when we take, I think it's from the second ear. She had a cutest little giggle, and there's nothing quite like kids' laughter, is there? And I think when I pulled it out, she was giggling because I told her it looked like a tadpole. I pulled out to there because it had like a skin tail on the end of it. So stay tuned for that. There is another one after this patient as well, which is, I get the old trusty Cawthorn hook out again. I know some of you like using that. It's by far my favourite tool. Some of the others are okay, I use them every now and then, but usually it's the Cawthorn hook that I grab for first. There we go, beautifully clear eardrum. So yeah, it's nice having children. I do see a lot of children in here because not a lot of other practitioners, well, none in fact, see children where I am. For a couple of reasons, probably. There's obviously some extra insurance involved. There is some extra risk involved. So you've really got to know how to communicate with children and put them at ease. And obviously I've got a few of my own. I've got 3. I've got a bit of experience with kids. Now I tried to start here with the fine end tube. You can probably already tell this is a lot drier, and I'm feeling it there. And as you touch it, you can just tell it's drier and harder. So I had to go to the full size tube here, but it worked pretty well, as you will see. And the noise just didn't bother her at all. She did make a couple of noises as this bit was sliding out. I don't think it was uncomfortable for her or painful. But she could obviously feel this big plug sliding up her ear canal, so it's a slightly unusual sensation. But it didn't hurt her. But she was so good. Almost got me broody, but not quite. 3's enough. We don't need any more. In fact, I think I offered, if you're hearing the audio, I hear the audio over me a lot of the time, but I did offer to swap her for one of mine. But Mum wasn't for giving her up. I think it's just here. I'll be quiet and listen to the audio.
Wow. Check that out. It's got a little tail on it too.
Got a tail.
It's like a tadpole.
Look at that.
Okay.
Little tadpole, doesn't it? I really tickled her. And does. And as you can see, nice and clear. A little red at the bottom there, but nothing that shouldn't calm down. But the difference was instant. You could just, very often kids don't know how to explain the feeling that they now have. So what tends to happen a lot of the time, you'll see this if you go and turn on, look for some videos that have like kids who have like cochlear implants turned on for the first time. They get quite emotional and they kind of don't know what to do because they've never heard things like this before. And what she tends to do, it's classic every time, but as soon as it's out and the hearing's restored, they just like stare like this, as if to say, what's going on here? This is weird. And she did exactly that. It was a classic one. Speaking of kids, I did do a video with mine the other day actually. If you want to, feel free to go and check it out, because I know I've included them in a few other bits and pieces. You've seen some videos, pictures, what have you, but I think this is the first video that I've actually done with them. Reason is because we went to Blackpool for a day out. It's like a seaside resort near here.
Because you swim quite a fair bit, that it's quite dry.
It's a wonderfully tacky place. We all love it around here, but it is very tacky. For all the right reasons, you know. There's like theme parks and all that kind of stuff. And the promenade, it's just full of shops with tat in.
Well, that's
I give it in arcades and what have you. And so I gave him a bit of money to spend. I said, you can have that, you can have a tenner, you can have a tenner. Spend it on whatever you want in any of these shops. So I went into the sweet shop, and our Eva, she's quite smart. She was looking around for ages, pricing things up in her head, looking for the best deal, and came out with like 5 or 6 different types of rare toffees that you can't get here normally. I think they import them in from this particular shop, so she got a load of them. And Luke, my son, he went straight for this Hot Mama, what's it called? Hot Mama pickle. It's like a chili infused giant pickled gherkin. I think he must have seen it on some challenge videos where people eat it and they're like, ugh, like that. So his idea, he said, well, let's film us eating it. So I thought, well, go on then. So we did. And if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a card to it at the end of the video, which you'll see next to me. So you just click onto that and that will take you through to the video of me and the kids at home trying this. It was quite entertaining. I hope you'll find. If you're watching on TikTok or YouTube, you can't attach other videos to these. So you'll just have to find me on YouTube and find it there. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. It's right next to me now, so go and check it out. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.